She mocked my thrift store clothes and filed divorce papers. That jacket secretly held $50,000 cash. The smell of old leather and stale cigarette smoke hung heavy in the air of my living room, a scent that usually comforted me but today just tasted like failure. I sat on the edge of my sagging couch, staring at the front door that had slammed shut exactly 3 hours ago. It was Saturday evening. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. My wife, Jessica, was gone. She didn't just leave. She detonated our life. She had stood in the kitchen, her face twisted in a sneer I barely recognized, and told me she was done. "I can't do this anymore, James," she had hissed, throwing the divorce papers onto the counter. They slid across the Formica and hit the toaster. "I'm tired of counting pennies. I'm tired of you bringing home garbage." She pointed at the jacket I was wearing, a vintage bomber jacket I had found at the thrift store this morning for $15. It was beautiful, distressed leather, heavy brass zippers, a shearling collar that felt like a hug. "Garbage?" I whispered, touching the sleeve. "Yes. Look at you. You look like a hobo," she screamed. "My friends' husbands drive BMWs. They wear suits. You wear this. It's embarrassing." Then came the kill shot. "I met someone," she said, her voice dropping to a cold, matter-of-fact tone. "His name is Greg. He's a lawyer. He's stable. He takes care of me. I've been seeing him for 6 months. 6 months. While I was working overtime at the warehouse. While I was skipping lunch to save money for our anniversary." She signed the papers right there on the counter. She packed a bag. She left. Now, I was alone. Just me and the jacket. I pulled it tighter around myself. It was warm. It smelled faintly of Old Spice, a scent that reminded me of my grandfather. It was the only thing I had bought for myself in a year, and it had cost me my marriage. I leaned back, closing my eyes, letting the exhaustion wash over me. My hand brushed against the lining of the jacket, near the left pocket. It made a sound. Crinkle. It wasn't the soft rustle of fabric. It was the crisp, stiff sound of paper. I frowned. I patted the spot again. Crinkle. Crinkle. There was something inside the lining. Not in the pocket. I had checked the pockets. This was inside the layers of the jacket, trapped between the leather and the silk inner shell. I sat up. I felt around the edges. There was no hole, no tear. It had slipped down from somewhere, maybe a seam that had burst years ago and been resewn. Curiosity piqued. I went to the kitchen drawer and grabbed a pair of scissors. "What do I have to lose?" I muttered. She already called it garbage. I carefully snipped the stitching along the bottom hem. I reached my fingers into the dark, cool space between the layers. I felt it. A small, folded square of paper. I pulled it out. It wasn't a love letter. It wasn't a receipt. It was a lottery ticket. A Powerball ticket. The date printed at the top was August 30th, 2025. I stared at it. Today was February 28th, 2026. I did the math in my head. September, October, November, December, January, February. 6 months. Exactly 180 days. My heart started to pound, a frantic, erratic rhythm against my ribs. Why would someone hide a lottery ticket in the lining of a jacket? I grabbed my phone. My hands were shaking so bad I dropped it twice. I typed in the search bar, Powerball winning numbers August 30th, 2025. The results loaded. 0411 to 2338 to 44. Powerball 12. I looked at the ticket. Line A. 04. Match. 11. Match. 23. Match. 38. Match. 44. Match. My breath hitched. I missed the Powerball. I had 12. The ticket had 10. But I had 5 white balls. I scrolled down to the prize chart. Match 5 white balls. $50,000. $50,000. I dropped the ticket. It fluttered to the floor. $50,000. That was more than I made in a year. That was debt-free money. That was a new car. That was a down payment on a house. I picked it up again, smoothing the creases. It was real. It was right there. Then, a thought hit me. A cold, terrifying thought. Expiration. What happens in the next 45 minutes isn't just a drive. It is a race against fate itself. I am about to break every traffic law in the state to get to that office. The universe has a funny way of balancing the scales, and the woman who left me for being broke is about to get a notification that changes everything. To watch full story, kindly follow on screen instructions.